How's it going, guys? MNC here, and thanks for watching. Welcome back to another Minecraft mod spotlight. Today's mod spotlight is from Vaderman242322 from the Minecraft forums. So to start it off, we have about 22 new apple varieties. I have them all on here. May have forgotten an extra row, so we're just gonna extend it. But we have some extra apples or special apples. We have the regular apple up there. We have some special apples that go through about here that are just a little bit of extra hunger. I think it goes to about there. And then we start getting into specialty apples, which are actually give you special abilities by eating them. And we got a lot of interesting apples to go through, so let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, we got to get this out of the way. Now with this mod, all ores can be, or most ores, about these extra 5 ores, or extra 4 because iron always could, but these 4 ores can actually be smelted to create ingots now, which can also be used to help you build the specialty apples, and then the diamond ingot can actually be used to create diamond armor and stuff like that, which is not really necessary, but if you actually make it into a diamond ingot, it's not a problem. So let's go ahead and demonstrate with the piece of emerald. Go ahead and throw it in the furnace. It will start to cook, and when it comes out, it will be an emerald ingot. Now all ingots can then be placed inside of a crafting bench to create nuggets. So from each ingot, you will get 9 nuggets of its variety. So let's go ahead and show that off with a bit of iron. Throw it in the crafting bench, middle slot. Might be any slot, and you'll get your 9 ingots or 9 nuggets from that ingot. So I'll go ahead and put that back. We'll check on our emerald ingot, and now we have the emerald ingot. Put that one in there. And that is one of the basics that you need to know when you're going through this mod. The next thing we need to show is the food nuggets, which are actually right here. Now, same way that ingots can be made into nuggets, food can also be made into nuggets now. So we have the pork chop, chicken, and beef nuggets. You can also make nuggets out of the cooked materials, but all nuggets will only heal half a hunger bar. So they're not really worth eating, but you use them to create special apples. Okie dokie. So now that we have the regular stuff out of the way, we can get into the crafting of every single flippin' 24 apples. So let's get started. First off, we have the raw pork and cooked pork apples, which are by putting 8 raw pork or cooked pork nuggets around an apple to create the raw pork covered apple or the cooked pork covered apple. Now, the raw meat apples can actually be cooked in order to create the cooked meat apples, and a raw meat apple gives you 2.5 hunger, while a cooked gives you 3.5 hunger. Next, we have the raw beef and cooked beef, which are the same way, but using beef. And then on to the raw chicken and cooked chicken. We have the same exact crafting recipe, and it's the same amount of hunger for the raw and the cooked as beef and pork. And then I put that sign there to remind myself. Now we have the interesting ones, which are sugar and chocolate apples, and then so forth. We'll get there. So first off, sugar and chocolate apples, which are, first sugar apple is an apple in the middle with sugar going over top. Now we have 5 sugar going over top, and you get the sugar-coated apple. To get the chocolate-covered apple, you put an apple in the middle and surround it with cocoa beans. Now, those basically just give you a little bit of extra hunger fill. Let me go ahead and check how much. You got 3 from the sugar, and you have 3 from the chocolate, which is actually less than those. Less than cooked meat, which I don't really get the point of that. But they look cool. The sugar one especially, I really like the texture, or the, the texture for that. Next, we have the green and emerald apples. Green apple is made by surrounding an apple with seeds, and you get this green apple. Emerald apple is by surrounding the apple with emerald nuggets, and you get the emerald apple. Now, the emerald apple actually has a special effect, which is emerald, or the special effect is regen 1 for 20 seconds. And then the rest of them onward basically all have special abilities. So let's go ahead and get to them. We have diamond and glowstone apples. The diamond apple is created by using 8 diamond nuggets around an apple, and the glowstone is 8 glowstone nuggets around an apple. And they both look pretty cool. Now we have the diamond gives you resistance 3 for 1:30, while the glowstone gives you night vision for 35 seconds. Then we have redstone and iron apples, which are crafted the same way. You got redstone nuggets around an apple to get the redstone apple, and we have the iron nuggets around an apple to create the iron apple. Now, the redstone apple will give you movement 1 for 35 seconds, while the iron apple will give you resistance 1 for 50 seconds. Then on to poisoned and invisibility apples. The poison apple will, I'm pretty sure, just kill you. I think that's what it was. Let me check. Yeah, the poison apple will just murder you immediately, while the invisibility apple will actually do something pretty cool. If you combine the apple with an invisibility potion, instead of getting 3 minutes of invisibility, you'll get 7 minutes of invisibility. And I think they both give you about, that one kills you, this one gives you about 3 hunger bar. I'm pretty sure them onward give you about 3. Let me check just to make sure before I say anything stupid. The invisibility apple actually gives you 2. And it actually varies quite a bit, so I'll try to make sure I mention it on each one. Next we have, let's move on, we have the slimy and rainbow apples. Now, let's go ahead and show you guys how to make something special first. Now, with the rainbow apples, you want this, the rainbow orb. Now, to create a rainbow orb, you got rose red dye in the top left, orange dye in the top middle, yellow dye in the top right, and so forth. So, you make it look like that, and then you got it. Now we have a rainbow orb. Now, the rainbow orb comes in handy when we start making rainbow apples. But first, we have the slimy apple, which is an apple in the middle surrounded by slime balls. And the slimy apple will give you jump 2 for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Next, we have the rainbow apple, which is the rainbow orbs around an apple. Will give you invincibility for a minute, which is actually pretty dang helpful. Now, the slimy apple gives you 2 hunger bars, while the rainbow gives you 5. Next, on to clay and sea apple. Clay apple is surrounding an apple with bricks. You get the clay apple. Now, the sea apple, you got 4 water bottles and 4 buckets of water, which is actually a pretty big creation, and you get the apple of sea. Now, the apple of sea looks pretty cool. I like all the textures in this game. They all look, or in this mod, they all look pretty dang good. Now, the clay apple will give you 2 hunger bar, while the water apple will give you 3. And the clay apple will also give you slowness 2 for a minute, while the water apple will give you sea or breathing underwater 2 for 3 minutes, which is actually pretty damn helpful too. And moving on to the last couple, we have the apple and the rainbow apple. So we have the apple, which is the little bit of it broken out like the Apple logo, and all you gotta do is surround an iron apple with iron ingots, forgetting the little piece right here, so we got a little bit of a bite out of it. Same thing to create the rainbow apple, except you use rainbow orbs with a apple in the center. Now, the 2 of those, apple will give you regen 1 for 1 minute 30, while the rainbow apple will give you regen 2 for 3 minutes. So it's a pretty big upgrade if you go through the work. And then we get on to the last couple, which I actually spelled that one wrong. It's the glass and rotten apples. So let's go ahead and open that up. The glass apple is by surrounding an apple, but with glass, and you get the glass apple. And the rotten apple is by surrounding an apple with rotten flesh. And the glass apple could lose 6 hearts, and the rotten apple gives you hunger 2 for a minute. You can also feed the rotten apple to your dogs, or wolves, really. So there is all 24 flippin' apples, and it's a really cool mod, really good texturing, which is probably my favorite part about it. I like somebody, or like a modder, who can actually do good texturing, and that's all we have. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Also, if you want to download this mod, you can visit the Minecraft forums link in the description and download it there. See ya.